All right. You know what it is. You know who it is. We're back. So today we're talking about the BG Perform method. This is the method that I've created, that I've thought about for a while, and I finally gave it a name. Creative, I know. But the BG Perform method encompasses a couple things. So when we talk about creating a method as a coach, this is essentially what we believe in and what we want our product to be, right? This is what we sell ourselves as. This is what we push to label our business as, and these are the things that are important within the business. And there's a couple things I'm going to talk about on this podcast in the next few episodes. When it's starting your own business, when it's kind of getting that off the ground, the things to look for, the things to think about. But today I just specifically want to talk about the coaching method that is the BG Perform method. In that method, what I've done is taken my years of experience, taken my years of playing, of training, of learning, of communicating, of networking, and put all of that into my method of training. And this covers a lot because I've been through a lot of different aspects of fitness. I myself have done a lot of different aspects of fitness, whether it was me initially losing weight, which if you guys know me, if you don't, when I was younger, I lost a bunch of weight, which I will talk about. And whether it's, what I'm doing now, which is training, world-class athletes, championship athletes, champ athletes, future champ athletes, and everything in between, right? And to do that, you need a method. You need a framework, you need a basis in which you build everything off of. And for me, it's always been important since the beginning because I knew this would happen, right? I knew I would reach this level of, small success that I'm at right now and what I hope to, double, triple, quadruple, tenfold in the next few years. But it starts somewhere, right? And we're here and we're chasing dreams, we're training the people that we've always dreamed about training. And I say that not to brag, right? I say that because, the one thing that's stuck with me this whole time is my method, right? My understanding of fitness, my ideas behind fitness, the reasons why I do certain things. It's built off of the things that I've done in the past, the things that I currently try, and the situations that I put myself in that I've learned from. Owning a business at a very young age was awesome. It taught me a lot of good things, a lot of bad things. It also put me in a position where I had to have hard conversations, have good conversations, emotional conversations, and really had to look inward into what it was that I was trying to do as a coach, right? And looking back at it, it was the start of where we are today, Had it not been for that, I wouldn't have had those experiences. I wouldn't have had those conversations. I wouldn't have learned. And this all boils down to, like I said, what the BG Perform method truly is. And what it is can be described by three things: acquire skill, express movement, perform better, right? Acquiring skill, aka learning. So breaking down information and being able to digest it as an athlete, as a client, as a coach. This has always been at the forefront of what I do. It's always been important to me because if you can't learn, if you can't comprehend, if you can't break down, if you can't understand, then there's no way you're going to be able to do this sustainably for a long time or understand it enough that you're going to be able to get exactly what it is that I'm trying to achieve out of these sessions, right? Or even just breaking it down for yourself, you won't be able to get exactly what you want out of this. And it's important to understand this because learning is a skill. And if you followed my Instagram over the last couple of weeks, learning is something that needs practice. And learning is something that takes learning, right? And understanding this is important. One, because again, learning is a skill. And if we do not learn how to learn, this process just becomes a headache, and you often see these issues repeat themselves, right? Whether it's repeated jumping from gym to gym, jumping from program to program, jumping from diet to diet, whatever it is, right? That this is all a problem within learning, and something that, us as coaches, us as athletes, we all fall into. And that's why I put it as my very first pillar of what I do. Because acquiring skill isn't just movement, right? It's acquiring decision-making skills. It's acquiring communication skills. It's acquiring all the things you need to have a successful life. And that is the start of fitness, right? And I think one of the things that I've talked about continuously is that for me, fitness is the last thing I'm worried about. The workouts are the last thing. They're the easiest thing to worry about. And for a lot of people, that's the first thing they worry about, right? I think that if we're looking at this in terms of creating change in an individual, working out is the lowest hanging fruit, right? It's the easiest thing that we can get our hands on that can actually change somebody's life. And that's the key that opens the door. If we're able to open that door, then we're able to attack these other areas. Then we're able to attack the communication skills, the decision-making skills, the ability to properly understand where you're at and be vulnerable and real with yourself, right? These are all aspects of learning and aspects of what I do as a coach. And again, aspects of what the BG Perform method is for that very reason, right? If you're not able to conduct yourself in a way that is going to be reasonable to learn, right? And understand that you're not going to be great at this right away, and understand that this is going to be a process, then this isn't going to work, right? And again, that's why I made it the very first pillar of what it is that I do as a coach and as a person, right? Next, we have express movement, right? Expressing movement is what we talk about, right? It's the thing that I do as a coach. It's my language to you guys. It's helping you guys understand what movement is and how to utilize it, how to break it down, and then how to use it, right? Expressing movement comes in a lot of ways. It could be benching, it could be squatting, it could be running, it very well could be walking, it could be breathing, right? And with all of these aspects of what we do as coaches, what we do as trainers, and what we do as athletes and clients, expressing movement is at the forefront of what people pay us for, right? The acquiring skill stuff is great, but at some point we actually have to train these people, and they have to express movement, and they have to be able to, express the things that they want to get the results that they're desiring. And movement is a huge part of that, right? Is it the first part? Is it the most important part? Maybe not, right? But it is an important part. And I think that we have some things that need to be discussed, hopefully on different episodes and whatnot. But movement is exactly that, right? There is no parameters around movement. Movement is expressive. Movement is, more than meets the eye. It's more than what one person labels it. And there's lots of ways to move. And actually today, I was having a conversation with a very good friend of mine, and we were diving into this topic a little bit, talking about fitness, talking about movement, and really kind of breaking down the aspects and breaking down the things that we as athletes want to see us as coaches, right? We're both athletes, but us as coaches want to see from our clients. And movement is number one. Understanding the movement, breaking down the movement, loving movement, learning to do these things, right? And just like I talked about in the beginning with learning, with decisions, with relationships, with communication, these are skills, right? And once we've acquired the skills that we need to fully immerse ourselves in what it is that you have to do to make change, movement is that next step, right? Understanding movement and playing around. And I think that a lot of us have fallen into this habit of not moving, right? And really just being okay with mediocre awareness of our body. And this is something that long term has a lot of effects on us, right? It has a lot of things that you don't know and you don't see yet that if you really look at the older population, if you look at the people that we know and love, they struggled with, right? They didn't take it serious. They didn't put themselves in the position to succeed with a lot of this stuff. And as you start to look at this, movement is the one thing that no matter what can always keep us moving forward, can always keep us sane, can always keep us progressing, right? And it's important to understand this, because once you acquire the skills and then you express the movement, then comes automatically the third pillar, right? Perform better. And I think that performance is so much more than just movement, right? And I think that when I made what I do now, when I created the BG Perform brand initially, I wanted it to be different, right? And I wanted it to stand out, and I wanted it to be, more than just a workout brand. I wanted it to be something that people could look at and have confidence and comfort that they're going to have the best interests in mind for them, right? And laying this out in this way gives people the understanding of what they're getting themselves into, right? They're coming into an environment where they're going to learn skills. And they're going to come into an environment where once they learn those skills, they're going to be able to fully express movement. And once they're able to fully express movement, they're going to perform better in whatever domain of life that they so choose, whether that be sport, whether that be family, whether that just be, getting out of pain. A lot of these things start from the ideas of acquiring skill. And then once you acquire that skill, you move better. And once you move better, you perform better. So to kind of summarize this is just a very quick general introduction into what I do as a coach and my process and my thought process of how I started this and where I want to take it, right? Because my goal as a coach and my mission statement, right? My mission statement of the business is to influence the highest standard of health and fitness. And to do that, I have to attack this from a different angle. This isn't just working out for me, right? This changed my life. This put me in positions that I could have never imagined. It's bringing me places, and it's going to bring me places that, are crazy, and I'm excited to share with you guys eventually down the line. But with that being said, it's still something that I'm getting better at. I'm still practicing on a daily basis because I am a practitioner. I am a client of myself, right? And that's first and foremost. The BG Perform method was only created by helping myself, right? And creating opportunities of success for myself and putting myself in positions to learn, putting myself in positions to succeed, and putting myself in positions to mess up, right? To know what doesn't work in a program, to know what works in a program, to know how to run a gym, to know how not to run a gym, right? To know how to make mistakes, to know what it's like to move 3 different states in 2 years and go through that process of kind of learning about yourself and feeling, right? And all this can be done through movement if it's done correctly, if it's done in the right pattern, and if it's done with the right people, right? And these are things we're going to talk about, and these are things that I want to break down because I think that too many people in fitness and in movement are too general, and there's and I don't want to bash anybody, right? I don't want to talk about this as like a negative, but I just want to be the beacon of light. I want to be the person you guys can turn to and understand that this is all experience, this is all theory, this is all thought, and all of this, there is no right answers. Right? We're all just trying to figure out what the best movements and what the best things for us are. But there is a blueprint for success, right? And there are things that you can do that are going to put you in the right position. And starting with finding someone, finding a brand, finding a person that you can trust with your fitness and your health is always going to be number one, right? And you're never going to go wrong with investing in yourself physically and mentally, right? And physically can be taken care of in a lot of different ways, and finding yourself, right? And finding someone you can trust and you can turn to. And that's what the BG Perform method is, right? It's more than just a workout. It's more than just a training session. It's us developing a plan to help you increase the benefits and increase the efficiency in your life, right? And as I said in my mission statement, us working together to influence the highest standards of health and fitness and create something that is going to push the standards of what a personal trainer is and what a gym is and what a training program is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, it's just a short general breakdown into what it is that I do as a coach and the method and kind of my thoughts going into what the BG Perform method is. And I want to break that down more and more. And I really want to kind of, put a little bit more behind why it is that I'm doing this so you guys can understand what you're getting into and you can really kind of learn who I am as a coach. And we can do this better. And we can do this better together, right? And we can do, just like I said, we can create a new standard together and really make a difference. So if you guys have any questions, as always, you can hit me up on Instagram at Brandon__Gallagher. I am also going to be uploading some stuff onto YouTube as well, which is just at BG Perform. And then you can always just message me there or drop a line. So yeah, I think that's enough for this. I'm excited, like I said, to kind of bring this back and talk a little bit more for you guys. Let me know what you want to hear. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.